What's up, everybody? Welcome back for another Saturday Night Stash Spotlight. So, we've been talking about Street Machines a lot. We took a look at the Fiat Abarth and decided that was going to be the foreign Street Machine for me to build this year. And a couple of buddies jumped in on that, and there's three of us that are going to build those. So that's going to be fun. But I thought we would keep rolling. We looked at the Charger last week. That's a cool street machine. I thought we'd keep rolling with possible street machines and what I've got and what I could do with them. So today we're going to look at a kit that I don't see a lot of people talking about anymore. I feel like it was out for a hot minute, and then it maybe disappeared. It lost some of its luster. I don't know what the deal is. But I picked one up, and it's been sitting on the shelf ever since. This was 3 years ago now. And that is the Mobius 64 Chevy 2 Nova Resto Mod. Now, I do not agree with them calling this a resto mod, because in my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, but it's just my opinion, a resto mod would be restored to a point, but it would have a newer motor, some bigger wheels and tires maybe. Anyway, this would make a heck of a good street machine. There's some cool parts in here. So let's take a look at what's in here. Now, I know I'm living on the edge unpacking a Mobius kit. Is it going to get back in there? I don't know. I think I already unpacked this, though, to look at it before. So, let's see what we can dig through here. Let's go to directions. And decals, which there's not many decals in this one. Okay. So, directions for this Mobius kit. Mobius kits are always really nice. However, sometimes they can have some stuff that might not be exactly straight. This one looks pretty good, though. I've looked through this one, I think. At least I think I did. I don't remember. Maybe I didn't. It's very strange that I don't remember. I also don't... This place is a mess right now. A legit mess. Coming back from the show last weekend, didn't clean nothing. Trying to get ready to go to the next show, which, honestly, the next show is right now. As you're watching this, I'm at the next show. So, God, I hope I did a good job in packing up and cleaning this room. We'll see. Okay, so here are your directions. They fold out, right? Pretty good instructions. They always are, Mobius. Gives you a nice 64 Chevy Nova paint colors chart. Some really cool stuff in there. Tuxedo black, metal green. Ooh, that's nice. Bahama green, silver blue, Daytona blue, lagoon aqua, almond, fawn, ember red, saddle tan, ermine white, goldwood. Very cool colors that you can paint this car. And they've got it done up two-tone. Fans of the channel will remember I am not a fan of two-tone paint jobs. Never have been, never will be. Not just because I don't want to mask off and paint. I don't like them on one-to-one cars either. So anyways, you got your instruction sheet. This is really cool. So it's a manual car. Comes with cool aftermarket air cleaner. Looks like a Holly carb. Headers. Pretty cool there. Dual exhaust. Traction bars. Attack. Good stuff. The possibilities of making this into a really nice street machine are definitely there. So let's take a look. Just open up these bags as we go, right? And let's see. Let's look at the decals first. Alrighty. So, like I said, as we are doing this, I'm at the Can-Am Con show in Vermont. I sure hope I'm having a good time. I'm sure I am. I'm sure I am. Let's see. So this is pretty cool. License plate, some emblems, some gauge decals. Nothing super fancy though, which is fine. I'm kind of one of those guys that think about doing decals and I'm like, oh goodness, do I really want to do decals? Sometimes I have to. Sometimes I skip it and don't use them. I'm more of a fan of a clean build anyway, not having a whole bunch of like decals and weird stripes and all that kind of stuff. So, first bag of parts. You have your rear taillight panel, your firewall, radiator, and shroud. A very nice cowl induction hood. That's pretty cool to have in this kit. So that speaks to it being a street machine. Is that part. Then you've got your interior door panels, brake backing. There's a master cylinder, the horns. That's what that looks like there. On this tree, you have your floor pan, your dash, and this looks like the grill insert and bumper mount in the front. Nice textured floor. It's got your 4-speed standard shifter right there. Let's see. This tree's got your front seat backs, your rear seat hood hinges, pedal assembly, and steering column. So that's pretty cool. Looks good. Put that there for now. And then the second bag of stuff. Now, you can obviously add a plethora of 3D printed parts, which, while I'm showing you these, it brings up an interesting question for you guys, I think. So I saw a big thing on the Facebooks this week about somebody saying that 3D printed parts are ruining the hobby, and a bunch of people chiming in saying, great, if you want to buy that 3D printed garbage. What do you guys think? So you get engine halves, cylinder heads, that's a transpan for an automatic transmission that this kit does not have. Interesting. You know, Mobius puts extra stuff in there all the time anyway, so that's pretty cool. But like I said, that's an aftermarket single plane intake engine parts. Here's your headers. 2-piece long tube headers. That's nice. Transmission halves. And your radiator hoses. Obviously, you guys know I do a lot of stuff with 3D printed parts. I like to use 3D printed parts. I think it's a good way to make your build individual and different. Yes, they can be expensive at times. I'm not saying everybody has to use 3D printed parts, but it's something that I, myself, do like to use. So here you got 2 different exhaust systems on here. You've got the stock exhaust here, small diameter tube, and then in the middle you've got a nice dual exhaust with like beefy 3-inch pipes by the looks of it. Changes the location of where it comes out. You got the like welded mufflers with the crossover pipe. That's pretty cool. there's that. Here are your nice bucket seats, low back Chevy bucket seats. All right, so this one's got a couple of three different center consoles. I would imagine, looks like 2 automatic consoles and 1 standard shift console. Comes with 2 different batteries, an Optima gel style battery and a factory battery, control arms, leaf springs, steering components, and traction bars, all in that tree. Pretty cool. Then this tree has your inner fenders, your inner fender wells, your axle housing, 2-piece drive shaft, front shock towers, coil springs, automatic pedals, which I don't get. I don't think I saw an automatic transmission in here. So they must have released a version with an automatic transmission. Front key member. Good looking stuff. Now let's get to, we've got two chrome trees, as well as tires. So here's the glass protected in the bags. Leave that there. Let's do this chrome tree first. So, dragging my number 11 hobby knife across the desk as I do this. It's a worn out blade. I gotta replace it anyway. Okay, first chrome tree has bumpers, Chevrolet Performance valve covers, your like foam cone style air cleaner, light lenses, steering wheel inset, shifters, different shifters, outside mirrors, and tack. Mobius always has the best looking chrome in my opinion for a kit chrome. So there's that. There. Okay, so second chrome tree has finned valve covers, a gauge cluster, headlight buckets, door handles, grill, some trim, different tail lights, and another shifter. There's that tree there, as you can see. And then it has door handles on this one. Now, let's take a look at the body before I show you the wheels and tires. So the body is nice and straight. It's good looking. It's a good looking car. I got some stuff on the roof. This at some point in time I opened this. For some reason I took the body out of the wrapper. I don't know why, but I did. You can see there's some scuff marks on the roof. That'll wet sand out. That'll be fine. That's a good looking body right there. Now, wheels and tires. I'm not a fan at all, actually. So they are, you get 4 very narrow, small diameter Chevy Rally wheels. I'm not a fan. That's not very Street Machine-ish. This looks like it would be something that is on like a 6-cylinder grocery getter. They're small, they're thin, narrow, I mean. The tires also. The tires are also narrow. I mean, you get 4 of these. Narrow, little, 14-inch looking I don't know. So that would be the one place I think that they dropped the ball. Not great. But again, let's go back to the whole 3D printed thing, right? So I have 2 sets of wheels and tires right here that would go really good with that. Now that's a pretty good looking little small block that's in that, right? So that's pretty nice. I would have no problems using that small block, but you could use any one of the 3D printed engines that's out there. You could put an LS in this. You could put I don't know if you could put a big block in it or not. I don't think realistically, if we're talking, I mean, it's a model car, right? So it doesn't have to be realistic, but I don't think I'd put a big block in this car. But maybe an LS motor. There's Iceman Collections and MCV Products. They both have really nicely detailed small block Chevys, really nice ones. But this kit engine's pretty nice. So you could upgrade the engine with a better detailed carburetor from any one of the 3D printed companies out there. They all have them. They're all really nice. You could do that. You could, I don't know. The biggest thing that you could do to improve this car, though, is a set of wheels and tires. And I've got 2 right here that would look perfect on this. You could really go old school and use what is shaping up to be my favorite wheel and tire package. And that's the MCV Products W48 aluminum 5 slots. So these are 15-inch, 8 front, 13 rear. Might be a little tight to fit that under the back, but I bet you could do it pretty easily. That's like legit old school. If you wanted to like pretend this was a street machine from the 80s or early to mid 90s, you could go with these 15-inch American Racing Gambler wheels on Koopa Cobra tires. Pretty cool. Which, because it's got a cowl induction hood, it's on a 64 Nova. I don't know. I really lean toward these. But that'd be cool. That would make for a cool little street machine build. So yeah. What do you guys think? 3D printed parts, yay or nay? I don't know. I can't even remember where I saw it. It was a post about somebody trashing 3D printed parts and talking about how they're ruining the hobby. And I don't think they're ruining the hobby at all. As a matter of fact, I think they're improving the hobby, in my opinion. The person that posted that should probably get used to 3D printed parts. Again, in my opinion, because I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. I mean, it's the explosion of really nice 3D printed stuff that's available to us now is incredible. I don't see 3D printed parts going anywhere anytime soon. So maybe somebody resistant to change, stuck in their ways. I mean, I get it. I myself am resistant to change and sometimes stuck in my ways. I get it. But certain things, I try to have an open mind, and I think 3D printed parts is a good thing for the hobby. So there you have it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We can talk about I don't know what next week, but it's going to be something else that's going to be good for a street machine build. Why? Because my street machine build is coming up. It's going to start June 1st and run all the way until December 31st. So and we're going to do something a little bit different this year. We're not going to change the rules. Not that there are any real... I mean, the only rules to the Street Machine Group build are no big rigs and no motorcycles. The first year I had said no lifted four-wheel drives, but I got rid of that rule last year, right? So the only thing you can't do is a big rig or a motorcycle. But I think there's going to be... I'm going to change a little bit of the way I don't know. The build takes place. I don't know. It'll be easier for me to explain it, and it's too early for me to do that. So you'll just have to wait until the last week of May. And we'll find out what I'm talking about. Heck, I'll find out what I'm talking about. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Check out everything linked in the description of the video. They'll appreciate it as much as I will. Keep your eye out for my Sunday morning Model Cars and Coffee. I'm going to record it right after I finish with this one. And then look for the video from Can-Am Con. That's coming the very beginning of the week. We're going to do a video from there. Again, I hope I'm having a good time. I'm sure I am. Who doesn't have a good time at a show? Anyway, I'll talk to you guys on the next one, guys. I'll talk to you on the next one, guys. Bye.